Hello to all of you, my students in 7th grade. This is your English teacher, Dana from Ru Al Farouk Academy. Today we are going to start with the structure of this unit. This is present perfect. We're going to talk about it with some keywords. So let's start. The outcomes of our lesson. Students should be able to recognize the use of present perfect and the forms of it. The use and the form of present perfect with just, yet, since, and for. Let's start with the use of present perfect. We use present perfect if we want to talk about the actions that have happened during a period of time leading up to the present, or when an action happened in the past and we can see the result of it now. Let's start with the first form of the present perfect. This is the positive form. In present perfect, we use two helping verbs, have or has. Have or has always followed by verb past participle. Verb 3. Look at this example. He has eaten his food. He is the subject, and because this subject is singular, we use has, but have with the plural. After has or have, we have to put excellent verb past participle, then complement. So the form of the positive sentences in present perfect, subject has or have, here we have he, so has, then verb past participle and complement. Look at the second example. They have eaten their food. Here we use have. Why? Excellent, because we have the plural pronoun and this is they. They is the subject or the plural subject, have verb past participle and complement. So in present perfect we use have or has. This is depending on the subject. After them we use verb past participle. What about the negative form? If we want to negate the sentence in present perfect, we add not with. Excellent. With helping verbs have and has become has not and have not. Look at this example. He hasn't eaten his food. We negate the sentence by adding not with hasn't, because we have singular, so we use has. Subject has not, verb past participle and the object, and this is the same with the second example. They haven't eaten their food. We add not with the helping verb have. They haven't eaten their food in present perfect with the negative form. Subject have not, verb past participle and the complement. Now what about the interrogative form? How can we make question with present perfect? Yes or no question. We have to start with the helping verb. Excellent. Have or has. Look at this example. This is a question in present perfect. Have you traveled to London? Have is excellent, the helping verb. You is the subject. Traveled is the verb past participle and complement to London. So we use have here because we have a plural pronoun. This is you, and after the pronoun we have to put the verb past participle. So these are the forms of present perfect. With singular we use has with verb 3, with plural subject we use have with verb 3, but in negative form we negate the sentence by adding not with has and have. With singular subject has not, with plural have not, with verb 3, then the complement. We said that we are going to talk about 4 keywords of present perfect. Let's start with just. What do we mean about just, or when can we use just in present perfect? Just used for actions which happened a very short time ago. Look at this example. I have just arrived. I is a plural pronoun, so we use have. Recognize the locate of just. Just comes between the helping verb have and the main verb or the verb past participle arrived. Okay? So, just with affirmative or negative sentences, excellent. With affirmative or positive sentences, I have, there's no negative form of this sentence, so just becomes with affirmative sentences and comes between the helping verb and the main verb. The second keyword, this is yet. Yet becomes at the end of the sentence as we see here, and with a negative sentences. I haven't arrived yet. I haven't, this is the helping verb with not arrived yet. We can't say just. I haven't just arrived. No, it's wrong. If we want to use a negative form in present perfect, we use the keyword yet, and it becomes at the end of the sentence as we see in this example. Also yet comes with questions. If we want to make questions in present perfect, we use yet. As we see in this example, have you talked to them yet? This is a question. If we want to make a question, we have to start with the helping verb. Have. This is the subject, then verb past participle and complement with the keyword yet. So, the form of question in present perfect, the helping verb has or have, this is depending on the subject, then the subject, verb past participle, complement, and yet. So we use yet with negative forms and with. Let's practice the rule with just and yet. Rewrite these sentences, use just or yet. Look at the first one. I haven't had my dinner. I haven't. Here we have excellent negative sentence, so we have to use just or yet. Bravo, yet. We put yet in the middle or at the end of the sentence. Excellent, at the end of the sentence. So the sentence is I haven't had my dinner yet. The second one, she hasn't done her project. Also here we have a negative sentence. She is singular, so we use has with not. Done, this is verb past participle, her project. So which keyword we use in this sentence, just or yet? Excellent. Yet. She hasn't done her project and we put yet at the end of the sentence. Look at the last sentence. They have eaten their breakfast. Here we have positive sentence. So we use excellent, just. Where can we put just? Bravo, between the helping verb and the main verb. So the sentence, they have just eaten their breakfast. Now let's talk about since and for. Since, منذ, for, لمدة. What do we mean about it? We use since to indicate the starting point of the event. And it comes at the end of the sentence before the specific time. نهاية الجملة قبل الوقت المحدد. But for used to indicate a duration of time or a period of time, and it comes at the end of the sentence before the period of the time. Let's take examples and recognize the difference between since and for. Look at these examples. I haven't seen my friend since Tuesday. Here we have since, and after since we have Tuesday. Tuesday is the starting point of the action. We know when the action started. بنعرف متى بدأ الحدث. So, since indicates the exact time of the action. But look at the second example. I've worked there for 5 years. 5 years is a duration of time, a period of time. We don't know when the action started. ما بنعرف متى بدأ الحدث. So we use for 5 years. But if we want to talk or to say for 2004, here we know when the action started, so we use since. So, since used with the starting point of the time, but for a period of time. Now, I'll show you some examples with for and since. We say for a month, but with since April. For 6 years, but since 2015. For 5 days, but with since Monday. So for with a period of time, since the exact time or the starting point of the action. Now let's practice the present perfect with since and for. Complete these sentences with since and for. Number 1. I haven't visited my sister since or for Sunday. Excellent. Since Sunday. We know when the action or happens or doesn't happen. Number 2. She has had this car 2 weeks. Here we have a duration of time, so we use bravo for. They have bought this book 3 hours. We don't know when the action started, so we use for. Ali has bought new car last week. Last week is the starting point of this action, so we use since. Mary has lived here. She was a child. Excellent since.